What's up, board fam? Eric here. It's time for another AMA video where you get to ask me anything anonymously. If you would like to submit a question for this video series and possibly get featured here, click the link in the description box down below. I'm going to answer 5 of your questions in this video, and then all of the additional questions will be available in a separate video for channel members only. If you would like to become a channel member and get that additional content, click the join button down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's questions. All right, first up, hello, I have a question. Well, that's what this is for. Will you or have you ever debunked or reviewed any videos from these chud channels? Real Shift, Mr. H Reviews, Derek Anderson, and Snarky J. Keep up the good work. I know I've heard of all of them except for Derek Anderson. I don't know what that channel looks like. Let me type this into YouTube and see if I can find Derek Anderson and see what this channel is. Derek Anderson. Oh, wait, is this the... Oh, here we go. Let's share this tab here. I think this is who you're talking about. 34.5 thousand subscribers. Derek Anderson. Oh, on the Star Trek hate train. No, I don't think I've ever even seen this channel before. I don't think I've ever seen this person. I know Verbal Riot, garbage person. Live streams, yeah. Members only, okay. I mean, I'll look into some of these guys eventually. Snarky J, I do have a video coming out for Snarky J next week. And Mr. H Reviews, I'm actually going to look at a Mr. H Reviews video this weekend that will probably come out at some point. And Real Shift, just haven't really gotten into Real Shift at all. But yeah, I mean, I'll check all them out. Thank you. I appreciate your comments. All right, next up, love your videos debunking Jester Bell's awful movie takes, and I look forward to you doing more of that. Honest and genuine film discourse is needed now more than ever. What is your top 5 most anticipated movies of 2026? Feel free to name 7 or even 10 if you have time. I don't know if I have a top 5 yet. I don't know if I have a top 5 yet, but I will give you a couple of them. Supergirl is at the top of my list, somewhere in the top of my list. I'm really excited for that movie. I've loved that character since we saw her in Superman, and the trailer and everything we have coming out gets me really excited for that movie. And I'm really excited to see something that isn't just a James Gunn film. I don't have a problem with James Gunn, but I think it's really important that we get a movie that isn't just a James Gunn movie now in the DCU. So I'm excited for that. Obviously Doomsday, obviously Spider-Man. Those are movies I'm really looking forward to. Dune, I'm looking forward to that movie. Man, there's a lot coming out next year. I have to sit down and really think about it. But those are the ones that I'm kind of looking forward to, which really does fall into the fandom of what we're doing. Mandalorian and Grogu, that's another one that I'm looking forward to. So I think that's 5 of them. I have a lot more that I am excited for, but I have to sit down and figure out which ones I'm going to prioritize, because we're going to get a similar situation we had a couple years ago where a lot of movies are just coming out on top of each other during the summer. There's like 2 months of movies where everything is just kind of on top of each other in 2026. So we'll keep an eye on that. But thank you for your comments. Oh, as far as Jester Bell goes, I do have another Jester Bell video coming out probably next week. So hopefully you'll be excited for that one. Anyway, thank you for your comment. Before I read this long comment, I just want to let you guys know I'm still under the weather. If you watched my live stream the other day, I talked about like having a cold, being sick, and I'm still kind of there. So I do apologize if I sound a little breathy. It's not my intention, but I didn't have any videos pre-recorded, so I'm making this after being sick, just so you guys know. All right, next up, do you think that the people criticizing Will's coming out scene, the ones who wanted all of his friends to reject him in the last season of Stranger Things as unrealistic, are just trying to justify their own cruelty? Okay, I did make a video talking about this where several people were discussing, I think it was Side Scrollers discussing that, and I feel like they wanted to see a gay bashing, not a physical gay bashing, but like a verbal gay bashing, like going in on him and attacking him for being gay. That's what they wanted to see, but that was never going to happen in the show. So I don't know why they would expect that. It's like a weird sort of evil urge to like hurt people, which I just don't understand that. Back in season 3, a lot of the same guys really hated the character Robin and complained that she was a girl boss or a Mary Sue because she was more intelligent than Steve, and they complained that she was unrealistic, that Robin didn't get violently raped. I'm not going to say that on YouTube. when she and Steve were captured by the Russians. It seems like they only care about realism when it's being used to punish a character who deviates from what they consider to be normal. Yeah, and I'm glad you put normal in quotes there. I would really like you guys to sort of understand, and not this person who left this comment, but just in general, how dehumanizing it is to suggest that someone who is different from the status quo is not normal. I would say typical and atypical, and even that's subjective. I've used this example before, is if you're a straight person in a gay bar, you would be there as an atypical person. You're not the typical people that would go into a gay bar. You're there atypically. Does that mean it's not normal? Does that mean that you're not someone that should be in there? No, it's just an atypical situation. So I'm glad that you used normal in quotes here, because I do feel like that does reflect how we should be addressing the situation with people. We shouldn't be using normal as a standard because it's very subjective. Yeah, I think there's a lot of anger that comes from these guys that they want to enact on people fictionally because they can't do it in real life. And there was a time where I wouldn't have said that, except it's become more and more apparent to me that there is sort of an unfulfilled, unsatisfied, and insatiable need for, I guess, violence against queer people. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. I don't know any other way to verbalize it other than this feeling that they want to see bad things happen to queer people. And that's crazy. That's crazy to me. And saying it out loud isn't something that I haven't done before. I don't know if I've talked about it on camera in this way, like on video with you guys, but I did mention it. I was talking to someone last night off stream, and I mentioned that when people ask me if I would ever debate with these guys, we would have to start at the core of all of this, which is just gay people existing in the world. We would have to start there. And then I would have to justify my existence and the existence of every other gay person, possibly every other queer person, to even get to a point where we could talk about media, like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We'd have to go through all of that just to get to that point. And that's what makes it so frustrating for me. But I'm here doing this because I know a lot of people out there feel that same frustration, and they don't have the capabilities, or they're too afraid to come out and say anything. They don't have the ability to say it without putting themselves in danger. I'm doing this outwardly because I want to express how a large chunk of people feel that they're not able to do it. So that's why I'm here saying this. So yes, it does feel like a lot of these people who criticize this want to see harm done. They want to see bad things happen to queer people. It does not go unnoticed. I notice it. Clearly, you've noticed it. Clearly, other people have noticed it. And they can keep saying that's not the case. But how else are we supposed to take it? Like, if you wanted a real reaction to Will in that moment, and the friends being there to accept him and love him for who he is not a quote-unquote real reaction, then what is the opposite of that? What is the alternative to that? It would be people rejecting him and bashing him. I mean, that's the only other possible path. So you leave us with very little wiggle room there. Anyway, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Oh, here we go. I feel like I've addressed this so many times, but this is an oldie but a goodie. It's always a banger. You're doing in all caps, exact same thing they're doing, which is already false. If it was the exact same thing as what they're doing, then I would be complaining about Marvel and Disney and Star Trek and Rachel Zegler, Brie Larson, if I was doing the exact same thing. So right away, your comment is just factually incorrect. You claim they shouldn't be making videos about the things they don't like, but bitch, you don't even like them, and you watch and make videos on them as well. So where's the standard for them then? Where's the standard? If you think what I'm doing is bad because it's the same thing they're doing, then where is the standard for them? See, that's the thing I don't understand about these kinds of comments. If you think what I'm doing is the same as them, and it annoys you that I'm doing it, then why not hold that same water for these other channels? That's what I don't get. But my issue's never been about complaining about things you don't like. This shows me that you guys don't pay attention to me. You're so angry that I'm calling them out that you don't actually pay attention to what I say. I've said this on my show. I've said it in videos. I've said it in spaces where other people that I don't get along with, that I've been with them on stream and said this to them to their face. I don't have an issue with the difference of opinion. I don't have an issue if you don't like something, if they don't like something, whatever. I don't care about that. My issue is with liars and grifters and scammers and people that perpetuate harm when they don't have to do that, when they're doing it with little to no concern about the damage they're doing to marginalized communities. I don't give a fuck if they don't like Snow White. I don't give a fuck if they don't like Captain Marvel. I don't give a fuck if they don't like Star Trek. I'm not here to twist their arm and get them to like things they don't like. What I do not want to see them do is what they're doing with Star Trek right now. I just watched a video last night with Chris Gore and Verbal Riot and a bunch of other assholes sitting on camera complaining about gay people existing in Star Trek. And that Chris Gore was saying that there should be a separate rating for gayness, like a TVMA rating, but for gay people and that kind of shit. That's the difference between me and them. I would never suggest that other communities should be separated and segregated by labels, like maturity labels on TV shows and movies. I would never suggest something like that. I would never not watch a movie or TV show simply because straight people are in it, or simply because white people are in it, or simply because straight cisgender men are in it, or because there's something in it that is not part of my life. I wouldn't reject that. But at every turn, these guys would reject watching something because a black man is the lead character, or a woman is the lead character, or there's a gay person or a trans person in it, or there's one poster in an entire movie, back in the Spider-Verse movie, where there's a trans poster in one frame, in one scene of the movie, and they fucking crash out because of it. There's a massive difference between me and them. And these literal brain dead takes from people that leave comments like this tells me that they have done irreparable damage to the fandom. They have hurt the fandom so much, they've damaged the fandom so much that you guys cannot even for a second watch something else and intellectually understand what's being said in front of you. Hypocrisy would be if I were doing the opposite of them and for the same reasons they're doing it. Like if I were out here saying we should boycott all Christian movies, the Christian movies are brainwashing us. Like if I were making that kind of content, if I were saying that white people are indoctrinating you with white privilege, blah, 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 et cetera, or some dumb shit about boycotting white people or straight people or something like that, that would be the same thing that they're doing. That would be me doing what they're doing. But that's not what's happening. You are mad. What you're mad about, what you're angry about here in this comment, is that what I am doing is holding a mirror up to them, and I'm showing them for who they actually are. And that hurts you because you agree with them, and therefore you feel personally attacked by that. When I call them out on being a racist, you're like, wait, maybe I am a racist. Or if I call them out on being a homophobe, you're like, wait, maybe I am a homophobe. And that hurts your feelings. That's what's actually happening. So there's no reality where I'm doing the exact same thing as them. And I think it's funny that you think I am. And I'm going to even let you have this. Even after all of that, where I've explained to you every detail of how things function for me on YouTube. Even after all that, if you still feel like I'm doing the same thing as them, but you hate me for it, then you should hate them too. Because if you believe that we are the same, then you should hold the same standards for them. If not, you are the actual hypocrite. Thank you for your comment. All right, would you consider doing a series of videos looking back at the chuds, like from where they started to where they are now? Is that something you could do or would do? That's actually really interesting. So like going back and seeing some of their earlier videos, kind of looking at what they were saying and doing, and then jumping ahead to present day and kind of juxtapositioning like where they were to where they are. Like what they're doing now, or like where it all started, something like that. I have to think of a name for it. That actually would be a good video series. That's actually a really good idea. Anybody that's watched the video this far, which hopefully you have, and if you have and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. If you watched this far, do you think this would be a good idea? Would you like a video series where I deep dive into the channels and as much of their origin story as possible, combine that with where they are now and make a video out of that? I could do a series of videos like once a week and do a different like grift channel each week. That's how we run out of grift channels, because there's only a few of them at the top. Let me know what you think at the bottom. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm delirious. I'm so tired, and this cold has got me completely out of my mind. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments below. With that being said, we're going to end the stream here. Thank you guys so much. If you'd like to see questions that were not answered here in this stream that come from this past week's submissions, you can become a channel member by hitting the join button at any tier and watch those members only videos. Thank you so much for all the channel members now that support the channel. You guys mean a lot. And thank you to everybody that's watched the video and subscribed to the channel. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all the support from everyone, regardless if you're a channel member or you're just a subscriber. Thank you so much for being there and watching the channel. With that being said, I'm out of here, and I will catch everyone in the next video. See ya.